Hi, guys. It's so great to have all of you here with me. So, I really like coming live. I think so. I feel that coming live and connecting with all of you is actually giving me a space to connect, create a reach, and above everything, it's about creating synergy. So, what's the mission of this live and why do we really do it? We have been in the industry for some time, but we realize that there is fair bit of gap between the senior leadership team and between the people who work. So now how do we work on this? In many organizations, we'll do a training need analysis and we will try to crop the difference and bring a projection or a blueprint. But that's where we thought that let's change the way things work. एंड आई थॉट कि क्यों ना ऐसा किया जाए कि रियल लाइफ रिलेशनशिप्स एंड लीडर्स को लाया जाए एंड लेट देम कनेक्ट so that the people by large can know what exactly goes behind the scenes and how do leaders connect. What is it that they do? How is it that they create a difference? And what do they really expect out of us? Because today, if I am a leader, I would definitely have started my journey somewhere at a very junior level. But the times have changed, the expectations have changed, and above everything, the way a job is looked at, the way the organizations expect you to perform, completely has changed the dynamics. And to bring that change, I thought why not have a live session? And यही reason है कि हम हफ्ते दर हफ्ते महीने दर महीने we try to bring people from the industry who are actually working, who are currently in the industry and are dealing with youths. So उसी aspect पे ये बार I am actually going to bring to you somebody who has been a person who's working, now is currently an investor, somebody who mentors startups, founders, and above everything, he's somebody who I can bet you is a go-to person. Does that mean knocking the door and moving in is a go-to person? No. That means he's a person who will add value even if you have the most basic business plan. So, जब मैंने अपनी entrepreneurship journey start की, I remember I called up my people. I told to them that, बहुत कर ली नौकरी, now I want to start something of my own. Everyone told me one thing. Who leaves a high-end corporate job and starts a business, especially when you are at your peak? And the answer is I called up people and I told them that I am starting my own recruitment organization, which will be into training and we'll consult in recruitment space. We will not be into direct hiring. People told me, Niharika, there are 250 lakh training companies only in India. How will you create a difference? How will you be visible and you will create that reach? Trust me, this statement was not wrong. It took us good more 4 to 5 years to create that reach, thanks to Instagram and social media platforms where we can be more visible and talk about what are the services we offer and how can it be useful to you. Why should you be a part of our journey? But before that, hi Reshmi, hi Vasudha, hi Sarita, hi Nia, hi Vijay. So what I'm going to do is I am actually going to get the person to be on our list and join us. It's extremely important that we stay focused, but what's more important is to hear from the horse's mouth how things work. And when we know how things work, it becomes very easy. I feel you're able to crack through difficult situations, you're able to manage things easily, and I think so it's not that difficult, you see. It becomes to connect and understand some of the biggest things. So one principle which I will definitely give all my viewers today is called my favorite principle, SDSS. Now what is SDSS? SDSS is start doing something small. When you know you have a bigger task at hand, don't try to play around with the task or procrastinate it. It is not going to get completed. The best part is try and do the smallest action that is possible to start doing what you want to really create. It can be being consistent, taking up a challenge, or it can also be trying to create your own startup or trying to create a side hustle to the smallest.
Hi, I'm good. How are you,
I'm
Niharika? Sorry, I just
good.
got a little late.
No, no problem. I realized that something is not on track, so I just thought that let
It
me
it
ping
it
Vijay.
happens. That's
Yes,
how it happens with the startup guys always.
trust me, we are only saying sorry to people. I don't think so. I've ever been on an end where I could say, "Oh, I run an organization." It has always been, "Sir, I'm sorry. Apologies for
Exactly.
the delay. The mail must not have reached." Okay, so
That's
Vijay,
right.
before we
Yeah,
really start the session, okay, I'm going to make things very, very easy, very, very casual for all of us. Hi, Avinash. Nice to see you here. Um, and what's very important is that people should know who we are referring to, right? So
correct.
I'm going to do a quick introduction about you, and then we are going to take you to a personality ride. And I'm going to ask you questions which you are not prepared. So आपके पास सिर्फ
Oh,
एक सेकंड भी नहीं होगा. Okay, चलो, I'll give you 15 seconds to answer one question.
thank
Okay.
you. Thank you. Very gracious of you.
My pleasure. Mention not. Hi, Jyoti.
Yeah,
Okay, so first let me introduce who you are. Okay, so the way I would introduce Vijay is हमारी बात हुई थी 2020 में, and I
correct.
had written in an email to you with respect to a training project, and we
Yes,
couldn't speak or connect. It was 2021 that we actually spoke
correct.
when I was at my outhouse in Shimla, and you said, I just have 10 minutes with me because I'm actually getting into a meeting or something. I remember we spoke for half an hour, and after that, we spoke for 1 hour, and it was
Yes,
all
yes,
about people management, right? Very sure that we have to sink in and really bring this thing to the audience
correct.
because people don't know the reality. So, the way I would introduce you, Vijay, is right from the sky to scuba diving, right from being, the people's person to being with a taxi driver, spending a solo trip to being with a group of people. You are a person who's a gem. Be it Yashmi Karachi wala, that's a name, right?
Yasmin Karachi wala. That's
Yeah,
correct.
be it Yasmin Karachiwala, to be it, somebody who's working with a solo gymnast who's actually training you and you work very hard in the gym every day. Right from working with industries like Pilwara, Green Panel, Signet Supreme, to being an investor, moderating, the new era, the startups with IM Indore, to being an independent consultant, and now also moving to your next big leap, which I will be very curious to know very soon when the announcement is out, to being somebody who has always cherished and believed in being a people's person and very kind to animals. Not many know that Vijay has an immense love and care for animals. And he's
Yes.
somebody who's a very soft-hearted person, but a taskmaster. So whenever I was learning about Vijay, everyone told me, "Sahab na काम के मामले में बहुत सख्त है." And I was like, oh my God. So this is about Vijay. And one more thing which I would like to mention to everyone that, I don't want to scare anyone on the session and even the ones who would watch it after that. He has a 26 years of experience in the leadership space. And that's
I was
massive.
thinking, yeah, correct.
That's massive, right? We are just babies. We've just started.
You look
So
me so
don't look
old.
like. Yes, and before
You
people
make
really get
me look.
conscious about you और फिर वो question and answer ना पूछे,
Yeah.
उससे पहले I will actually break the ice so that people know who Vijay is, and let's keep 26 years of experience a little aside and make people
Thank you.
comfortable.
Yes,
Okay,
thanks.
so Vijay, Like I said, I will give you only 15 seconds and you have to be very, very quick. All right. So, starting with the
Okay.
first question. What is the first product that you bought this year when 2023 started?
Oh, I bought the resistance band.
Oh, a resistance band, the fitness freak that you are. Great. What is your favorite product that you have bought till date in your house or maybe wherever you've traveled or for yourself? Your favorite product?
Alexa. The reason is, yeah. My parents, they love music. So whether they are sleeping in the night, they don't have to run around, and that takes care of everything. क्या बज रहा है? उस शहर में क्या temperature है? So my parents are happy with it.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. Okay. Second, uh, the younger version of Vijay, the mid version of Vijay, or the current version of Vijay? Which is your favorite version?
Current version.
Youngsters, youth, or senior citizens?
Always a youth.
Fantastic. Okay. What's your go-to lazy meal?
छोले भटूरे.
My favorite. Yes, I love chicken biryani, chole bhature anytime. Okay. What are the name of people, or rather, should I say that, how do people call you as nickname when you are working? You know, you have those leaders' ke nickname, right?
One is Khadus,
Okay.
and but the more popular one is VM sir.
VM, sir. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Avinash is saying that you're still a youth.
He's
Thank
very
you.
kind. He coaches a team. He is Tamil Nadu cricket team's coach. Very kind of him.
Thanks, Avinash. That's got Vijay really smiling. Okay. What is that one challenge that you typically dare your team when you work with them?
Always never forget the purpose. When you remember the purpose, the challenges are going to be always there. Nothing is going to be given on a platter.
Hmm.
Whether you work solo or you work in a team or you work with a team or you lead a team.
Right.
So if you have the purpose and the accolades, once you do that, achieve that
Mhm.
purpose, that gives you that kick कि
Yeah.
यार ये किया तो बहुत मजा
Mada
आएगा.
aa gaya. That's true. That's true. All right. Next question to you. What has been your favorite drink? Is it gin tonic? Is it tea, coffee, or water? Favorite. I mean, you can have the
For
three.
for me, it is Adrak wali chai. Always believe me since beginning.
I agree on this, Vijay. I agree on this. Nothing beats Adrak wali chai. Whenever I travel,
Yes.
Adrak has to be there in my luggage. I can't go
Oh
beyond
wow.
that. Okay, great. Next question for you before
Yeah.
we move to our next segment. What is that one challenge that you would want to give Learnathon? uh,
Sorry, come
what
again.
is that one challenge when it comes to behavioral skills that you would want to give Learnathon?
Try and make people learn the sensibility and environment around any situation to get the
Hmm.
right purpose.
Fantastic. Great. Now, coming from this challenge, I move to my next segment, which is talking about real conversations. And Vijay, you have known me, I have known you from 2020 onwards.
Correct.
Let's take to 2021. And we are people जो साफ बात करते हैं. We can't do jalebi talks because हमें समझ नहीं आते jalebi talks. Right? Let's keep it that way. Now, we know that the current era after COVID all of a sudden gave a rise to a lot of entrepreneurs. I guess people were selling crunchies, even the kids, right? They were selling crunchies and some were selling slimy, some came up with saris, and some people came up with digital projects. So, how do you see these things emerging? And what is it that you feel is actually मतलब वहाँ gap है. Just starting a business is not starting a business. Gap है कुछ तो. So what is that gap that you foresee?
Actually, yeah, that's a very interesting one to begin. And the gap actually is the perception which I have. मैं एक startup बना रहा हूँ. The word startup carries a lot of I'm a startup. I
Hmm.
run a startup. I own a
Hmm.
startup.
Hmm.
But that's not the reality. द
Hmm.
रियलिटी इज कि आप अभी भी एक दुकान ही चला रहे हो देसी स्टाइल में. यू शुड बी
Correct.
एबल टू फेंड फॉर योरसेल्फ. And unless you have a purpose, as I keep on saying that there has to be a purpose of why I am doing something.
Hmm.
COVID made me go back to my place. That is why I have no choice but to get into something क्योंकि हर एक कोई कर रहा है.
Hmm.
Generally that is how. Second is startup means कि यार मेरे को तो कैश बर्न करना है 2 साल 3 साल. अगर मैं नहीं भी कमाऊंगा, घर पे कोई पूछेगा या कोई और पूछेगा तो मैं बोल सकता हूँ यार मेरा तो स्टार्टअप है 2 साल तक तो कैश बर्न ही होगा.
Hmm.
ये जो false understanding या confidence है that I am here to burn money,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
Even if someone is asking me, I have the solid excuse, the wall of excuse कि अरे यार तो मेरा तो startup है. And the understanding between reality की boss, you need to find ways to start earning money as fast as possible,
Hmm.
right? ये
Hmm.
gap बहुत बड़ा है.
Hmm. Very true.
Patience नहीं है.
Hmm.
Yeah.
पेशेंस तो बिल्कुल नहीं है. नाउ कमिंग टू योर लास्ट वर्ड, पेशेंस. ठीक है. एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप, आई वुड विजय, वी वुड रियली वांट टू हियर फ्रॉम यू. 1 साल में, 100 दिन में हम 1 करोड़ बना लेते हैं. 101 दिन में क्या होगा? 100 days 1 CR challenge, 200 days 2 CR challenge. But is this enough? Do you think this is what we need? Or do we need more sustainable services, products in the market which sustain? What's your thought on it?
You know, if I have started something to earn money in short time, then I am done with 100 crores.
Yeah.
But if I am here to create a legacy, then it's a long-term sustainable thing. So again, what is my purpose? What is my vision? Where I want, okay, I want to be remembered.
Hmm.
If I want to be remembered, then it's a long-term sustainable, roadmap. If I just want to be happy, enjoy my life,
Hmm.
then I get my 100 crores. Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Very true. Very true. Then my 100 days challenge is over. I made 1 CR. Now bye bye.
Yeah. But then that's a vision which is selective है. किसी का वो विजन हो सकता है, किसी का हो सकता है कि यार मेरे को शिव नादर बनना है, मेरे को नारायण मूर्ति बनना है, राइट?
That's true. That's true. अच्छा विजय, मुझे एक बात बताइए कि एक एंटरप्रेन्योर बनने के लिए क्या हमें पहले पेपर वर्क करना चाहिए? ऐसे जीएसटी हो, कंपनी का नाम हो, ट्रेडमार्क हो. पहला स्टेप वो होता है या पहला स्टेप ये होता है कि जो तुम्हारा थॉट है उसको पहले पायलट में लेके आओ? आई मीन, व्हाट इज योर थॉट ऑन इट? हाउ डू यू सी दिस गेम?
वेरी क्लियरली जो भी प्रोडक्ट मैं करना चाहता हूँ, भले वो सर्विस हो या प्रोडक्ट हो, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग हो, आईटी हो, कम्युनिकेशन हो, उस प्रोडक्ट की अंडरस्टैंडिंग बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है.
हम्म.
डॉक्यूमेंटेशन एक्चुअली ओनर के काम नहीं होते हैं. यू गेट पीपल टू डू इट वंस यू आर रेडी. यू नो
हम्म. हम्म. हम्म.
उस प्रोसेस में उलझा देंगे तो अगेन इट्स अबाउट फोकस. माय फोकस
हम्म.
शुड बी ऑन माय ऑफरिंग,
हम्म. करेक्ट. करेक्ट.
राइट?
वेरी
या
ट्रू. So Vijay, tell me this, that suppose I start with my product, okay, and this is for everyone who's there on the channel, who's listening us, watching us. क्या मुझे अपना बेसिकली कैसे स्टार्ट करना है, कैसे एग्जीक्यूट करना है? फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आई एम गोइंग टू हैव दिस प्रोडक्ट विच इज इन द स्पेस ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन. ठीक है. एंड आई ओनली नो कि मुझे ये प्रोडक्ट मेरा है, बट मैं कैसे स्टार्ट करूँ? डू आई गेट 10 people एंड से कि चलो हम स्टार्ट करते हैं? डू वी स्टार्ट इट दैट वे? व्हाट इज द फर्स्ट इनिशियल स्टेप एंड व्हेन डू यू कम टू नो कि अब चल गया, अब चलो डॉक्यूमेंटेशन पे करते हैं, स्टार्ट एक्सप्लोडिंग?
I charge very high fee for this.
आई नो दैट, बट यू कैन
No, no,
ऑफ
jokes,
कोर्स गिव
jokes,
सम
jokes
टिप.
apart. Yeah, yeah, I know. Jokes apart. If I am satisfied with what I am offering, you know,
हम्म.
and when I say satisfied, that means that I have taken my offering through the roller coaster.
हम्म.
Okay, then that is the time. One and two, as if I need to sustain it for a longer period and when even market is not responding, but I'm sure about my products. Okay, so then I should be financially also having some capability to be able to sustain it till the time market starts appreciating my offering,
हम्म.
right? So
हम्म.
first I should have a confidence कि यार ये offering मैं अपने घर के लिए, अपने family के लिए use कर सकता हूँ.
हम्म.
If I have that confidence, then market is huge.
हम्म.
You know, it doesn't matter who else is there in the market.
Makes sense. Vijay, tell me one thing. that many a times ऐसा होता है कि people keep thinking, नहीं पहले ये कर लेते हैं, फिर ये कर लेते हैं, फिर ये जब एकदम अच्छा हो जाएगा ना तब हम लॉन्च करेंगे. So what is your say to those people who just keep on thinking and planning and creating that product कि बस ऐसा बनाओ कि लोग देखें और बोले वाह क्या प्रोडक्ट बनाया है. रियलिटी क्या है?
निहारिका, आपने जब पहली बार चाय बनाई होगी तो कैसी बनी होगी?
विजय शायद
दैट्स द
मेरा
आंसर.
ना बहुत अच्छा स्किल है. बहुत अच्छी बनी थी.
बट फर्स्ट टाइम, see, the
क्या?
point is that whenever you are doing something,
हम्म.
वो स्टेप्स ही होंगे, बेबी
हम्म.
स्टेप्स ही होंगे.
हम्म.
आप जरूरी नहीं कि वो सही करो, बट अनलेस यू आर कंसिस्टेंट एंड यू हैव पेशेंस,
या.
आप मास्टर नहीं कर
करेक्ट.
सकते उसको, है ना?
दैट्स
यू
ट्रू.
यू
दैट.
स्पोक अबाउट, राइट नाउ डेज आई एम मोर इनटू हेल्थ, सो आई अगेन गो बैक टू इट. आप डे वन डेडलिफ्ट नहीं कर सकते हो,
ट्रू.
है ना? आपका बैलेंस नहीं आएगा, आप गिर जाओगे, कुछ भी होगा, आपका ट्रेनर ठोकेगा आपको. सो पेशेंस होनी चाहिए एंड स्टेप बाय स्टेप ही होगा जो भी होगा.
करेक्ट.
भगवान ने
ट्रू.
भी, आई टेल यू वन वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग थिंग. एक हर उम्र का एक फितूर होता है. खिलौना, इश्क, रुतबा या खुदा. तो ऊपर वाले ने भी हर एज के लिए, हर समय के लिए चीजें बनाई है. लाइक वाइज इवन इन दिस.
ट्रू. Very true. Very, very well said. I was waiting for this, Vijay. Honestly, I was waiting for this. एक बार आप बता दीजिए वो जो पूरी लाइन है वो आप बता दीजिए because you just said half of it.
हर उम्र का एक फितूर होता है. हर उम्र का एक फितूर होता है. खिलौने, इश्क, रुतबा और खुदा.
Fantastic.
थैंक यू.
Fantastic. This is like gold. This is actually gold. Now, let's understand, Vijay, about the psyche of a leader, the way you see things of people who are working, who are at an executive grade, manager grade, senior manager grade. Because मैंने कहीं ना कहीं अपने छोटे मोटे थोड़े बहुत बच्चे जैसे एक्सपीरियंस में ये ऑब्जर्व किया है that there is a gap between the way leaders and investors look at a product service and the way the person is projecting the product or service. तो ये जो गैप है, व्हाट डू यू थिंक इन टर्म्स ऑफ बिहेवियर? एटलीस्ट ये तीन चीजें तो किसी भी एंटरप्रेन्योर में होनी ही चाहिए, नहीं है तो डेवलप करो. सो व्हाट आर दोस थ्री थिंग्स यू वुड क्विकली हाईलाइट?
एबिलिटी टू रीच आउट टू पीपल,
हम्म.
यू नो
हम्म.
हैव एब्सोल्युटली नो ईगो. हो सकता है मैं स्टार्टअप ओनर हूं,
हम्म.
डज नॉट मीन दैट आई शुड केयर. मेरे को अपने प्रोडक्ट को सक्सेसफुल करना है. आई शुड बी एबल टू विजुअलाइज और रीच आउट टू
हम्म.
पीपल. एबिलिटी टू क्रिएट अ रोड मैप.
हम्म.
एंड मेरा कम्युनिकेशन एटलीस्ट इतना तो होना चाहिए कि मैं अपनी टीम को मोटिवेट कर सकूं. हो सकता है
हम्म.
मैं उनको वो पर्पस, वो विजन ना दिखा पाऊं,
हम्म.
मैं बट मैं उन्हें मोटिवेट टू करूं कि
हम्म.
यार, I will not tell them that go and get the Asian gold. Okay. But
हम्म.
I'll tell them let's start with the college championship.
ट्रू.
You know.
वेरी ट्रू.
So
स्टार्ट डूइंग
breaking
समथिंग
it into
स्मॉल.
steps. Yeah. Yeah. बहुत important है.
Fantastic. Okay. Now, Vijay, how do you leaders identify कि ये कुछ तो कर जाएगा? I've heard this a lot of times, and I remember speaking to you also. Said Niharika, करो तुम पूरी जान लगा दो, करो पीछे मत हटना. So, how do you identify this in people who are working and you see that इसमें potential है ये rise करेगा? How as leaders do you make that thing more scientific and logical?
I don't know any science about this, but I know that एक समय के बाद आपकी गट फील ऐसी हो जाती है कि यार ये चीज, वो जो स्पार्क होता है ना,
Hmm.
स्पार्क, फ्लैम्बॉयंस, जरूरी नहीं कि फ्लैम्बॉयंस हो तो स्पार्क हो.
Hmm.
राइट. वो स्पार्क सिंप्लिसिटी में भी दिखता है. बट I tell you, I know someone who lost everyone, everything was in a one room thing when he was 16-year old. And in last 15 years, he has created a network, wealth and goodwill to a level where, and not even a graduate, but उस बंदे के जो नेटवर्क है ना, उसमें you will find the biggest of IAS officers, the biggest of business tycoons. You name anyone and they would know that guy, not the other way. So वो spark एक gut feel से ही आता है. बहुत मुश्किल है otherwise to have a scientific tool about this.
Hmm. Great. So, Vijay, when you meet so many people and you interact with so many of them, How do you think people should really project themselves when they are meeting leaders or when they are meeting senior people in the industry? Because if you see the current trend, everyone wants to be an entrepreneur, maybe for 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, and there is some kind of an arrogant wave which is moving around where they know it all, or they don't want to, go to office and work, or probably choose a city. They would want to be very comfortable in their space. That's the current energy that is floating around. How do you see those situations? Do you feel this is very acceptable to the market, or do you feel जैसे रहना है रो बस काम चलते रहना चाहिए? What is your thought on agility, flexibility, and behavior?
You can't control everyone's style, format, and behavior, right?
Hmm.
But at least one should be honest to oneself and the family and the well-wishers कि मैं जो कह रहा हूँ या करना चाह रहा हूँ या जो कह रही हूँ करना चाह रही हूँ, I really mean that.
Hmm.
My actions at some point should start following what I am trying to say or what I convey.
Hmm.
Otherwise, uh, पैसा इतना easy हो गया है और getting publicity is so easy and so sought after. बहुत difficult है ethics को integrity को लाना. But yes, ethics, integrity, honesty, and at least what I mean, I am doing that. ये चीजें बहुत basic हैं और I think in 1,000 you only get in one.
Yes, I completely agree. This is one thing which I agree. Finding integrity is very
Very
difficult. Finding
difficult.
somebody जिसका intent और action match करे is again very very
निहारिका
difficult.
false gratification इतना ज्यादा हो गया है ना. Getting pictures clicked is not a value addition.
Hmm.
Okay, film stars I am also very fond of. आप celebrities के साथ खिंचाते हो because उसका एक kick है.
Hmm.
You know, you
Hmm.
are not going to learn anything. In fact, you can learn if you see the journey. आपको समझ में आएगा कि it is not always a very gung ho thing with them also.
Yes. Yes.
But having a false gratification कि मैं X से मिलके आया has got no meaning.
Hmm.
आपने क्या पाया वहां से?
True. That is more important and is very relevant too. अच्छा विजय मुझे ये बताइए कि so I'll give you my own example as
Thank
well as
you,
and many will
thank
relate
you,
to
Avinash ji.
it. And I will relate to many people who are watching our channel today and will also watch after this is put on live. We don't have enough patience. We'll work on something for a few days and then we lose out on the patience. We start breaking up, we start moving here and there. How do you think, as an entrepreneur, as a leader, patience needs to be developed with the youth?
The most critical thing in a behavior. You spoke about behavior and you were wanting to ask what should Lanathan be focusing. Making people realize the criticality of patience, have ability. Even now I get impatient, but I am blessed that I live with my parents. So at times you need to, listen to them even now.
Yeah.
Without patience, nothing works.
Vijay, my parents are on live and they are after this they're going to sit with me saying that see the world is saying the same thing.
And my father, if he would be listening to this, he would say, इसमें बिल्कुल patience नहीं है.
So it's
But
this
yeah, the
I feel
fact
the
is,
circle.
patience does not mean that you are not aggressive.
Hmm.
You need to be absolutely aggressive. You cannot give people leeway कि यार इनके साथ तो चल जाएगा. No, चल जाएगा नहीं.
Hmm.
Once you understand that someone is trying to actually do it right way,
Hmm.
then the patience is fine.
Hmm.
Otherwise, patience is the most expensive word actually.
True. Vijay, while we are talking about patience, we are talking about let's be aggressive with task and not with people. That is what your intent is to really talk about. uh, how do you see the mindset shift of business people and industry changing right from the time when you started working with a top organization to now? How do you see the mindset shift is happening, and what do you think youth should, or people who are looking at entrepreneur as a journey should be mindful of? Because इतना dynamic हो गया है business, जो आप आज launch कर रहे हो 3 महीने बाद वो redundant है.
Correct,
So how
correct.
should one really cope up with the mindset? And what are your golden nuggets when you started till now about mindset shift?
Uh, in today's time, people lose interest very fast. So
Hmm.
either you should have a product which teams up with the changing time, or get into a very traditional product. I should understand my capability also.
Hmm.
And for that, that is why you need to have consultants or people who can actually would understand someone better. That
Hmm.
understand how you can pace yourself. If I can pace with the dynamics of that environment, good enough. Otherwise, get into conventional products. A lot of people do a lot of conventional products are still very successful. Whether you
Hmm.
get into child selling, you get into ghee selling, you get into F&B possibly other than the IT is the most moving industry even now.
I agree. The momos sell like hotcakes.
Anything, a place like Indore has more than 5,000 tea sellers.
Oh, that's an insight.
Yeah, and everyone sells.
Oh, that's even a better insight. So on an average उनके स्टॉल का पर डे का आराम से 20,000 तक हो जाता होगा.
हाँ, करीब 400 से 500 cup every day is around 15-20,000. Most of them are these are the actual startups. The owners are doing it. That is why they do not have any extra cost, and that is why they are able to create. I'll tell you, there is a sandwich guy in Indore.
Hmm.
He started 12 year back. और उसने लास्ट I will not take the name और उसने लास्ट ईयर 36 करोड़ का रिटर्न भरा है. नाउ एफएनबी में जिसने 36 करोड़ का रिटर्न भरा है, इमेजिन उसने क्या किया होगा, राइट?
माय गॉड विजय, मैं ना ये सब छोड़ के छोले भटूरे का स्टॉल लगा देती हूँ. आई एम श्योर इट विल वर्क वंडर्स.
There is
क्या
another
बोल रहे हो?
samosa seller in Indore.
हम्म.
His son is IIM Ahmedabad pass out and he actually in white kurta pajama वो रोज शाम को समोसे तलता है.
वाओ, द आई एम अहमदाबाद पास आउट.
Yes. But they know
फैंटास्टिक.
that उनको उनकी एबिलिटीज पता है, उनका पर्पस क्लियर है, वो अपनी चीजों को बेटर करता जा रहा है with his exposure and education.
हम्म.
And the reason I am saying this, have no shame about what you want to do.
फैंटास्टिक.
Startup does not mean कि मेरे को कुछ ऐसा करना है. मेरे
हम्म.
को इलॉन मस्क नहीं बनना है ना. I
हम्म.
cannot be.
राइट.
या तो so I also keep saying कि सपने देखते रहो, बड़े बोलते रहो, कभी ना कभी तो किसी सपने पे ऊपर वाला तथास्तु बोल देगा.
ट्रू. दैट्स ट्रू.
But
दैट्स अ
make an effort.
Yes, that's very true. Vijay, this brings me to a very interesting aspect, which is about behavior and mental mindfulness.
Correct.
When we are talking about mindfulness, there are so many jargons. इतना कुछ मतलब हम खुद बहुत कुछ बोलते हैं. Let's talk about real conversations. When you are at a situation where you have to think on the feet, and there are decisions that you've definitely taken, and you work with, people who are जिनको समझाना पड़ता है बार बार उनके लेवल पे जाके, राइट? व्हाट डू यू थिंक एज अ लीडर माइंडफुलनेस का पहला स्टेप क्या होता है? अब वो मेडिटेशन तो कर नहीं सकते जैसे ही गुस्सा आया या जैसे ही पता चला चीजें नहीं हो रही है. सो हाउ शुड वन लीडर और somebody who is working in a fast paced environment control that and create a balance with the situation?
The first is कि ये काम तो करना है. You cannot think कि यार ये प्रॉब्लम आ गया. You need to have कि ये काम तो करना है.
Okay.
Let me see ये कैसे हो सकता है.
Hmm.
The moment, don't start looking at fault. You
Okay.
can't be start looking at fault.
Hmm.
Just look at ये काम करना है, कैसे किया जा सकता है, कैसे किया जा सकता है, किससे किसको बोले, होल्ड करें, बट करना है. द मोमेंट यू स्टार्ट, आप डिफेंसिव नहीं हो सकते हो.
Hmm.
मेंटली यू कैन नॉट बी. सो द स्ट्रॉन्गर द लीडर्स माइंडसेट इज कि यार ये चीज तो होगी.
Hmm.
लेट्स सी हाउ कैसे होगी. द
Hmm.
मोमेंट यू स्टार्ट इवन saying it
Hmm.
loud, the team also starts getting back. भले उस समय दो ही जने खड़े हो आपके केबिन में, कि माइंडसेट ही चेंज हो गया, छोड़ना नहीं है, करना है.
Hmm.
अब तैरना है, पार होना है, तो सोचो कैसे तैरेंगे.
Hmm.
फिर then you start getting ways and thoughts. It happens.
Okay, so never give up attitude
Never,
and
never
solution
said, never,
focused mindset.
never say that.
Hmm.
Never say that. Absolutely never.
सो एक स्टार्टअप ओनर होता है, ठीक है, या एक फाउंडर होता है. बहुत जन ना अकेले काम करते हैं, उन्हें डर
Correct.
लगता है उनका कोई आइडिया ना छीन ले. वो बड़ी कॉमन चीज बना रहे हैं. जैसे सपोज फॉर एग्जांपल बेकरी है. इट्स अ वेरी नॉर्मल थिंग, इट्स अ वेरी स्मॉल स्टार्टअप एंड आई डोंट वांट लॉट ऑफ पीपल टू नो अबाउट मी. व्हाट वुड बी योर मैसेज टू दोस पीपल हु वर्क एज सोलोप्रेन्योर्स? दे वांट टू एक्सपैंड, दे आर डूइंग गुड वर्क, बट वो डर रहे हैं कि यार किसी और को ले लिया और उसने चीट कर दिया तो, किसी और को ले लिया, कोई इकोसिस्टम नहीं है तो. हाउ शुड दे स्ट्रक्चर देमसेल्व्स?
One should be able to reach out. ये डर तो अगर मेरे घर में, आई मीन इवन विद इन द फैमिली ये डर होता
हम्म
है ना? बट मैं आपको एक चीज बताता हूँ, वन इज दैट वेदर आई शुड गेट पार्टनर्स,
हम्म
अनदर इज कि अगर मैंने लोगों को इन्वॉल्व किया तो कोई मेरा सीक्रेट लेके तो नहीं चला जाएगा।
हम्म
थर्ड इज कि मैं जैसे चाहती हूँ वैसा काम नहीं हो
हम्म
पाएगा। पार्टनर्स और सीक्रेट के लिए तो बहुत टिपिकल है कि यू नो द बेस्ट ऑफ शेफ कैन गिव यू द इंग्रेडिएंट, बट नॉट
right
एवरीवन कैन मेक द बेस्ट ऑफ द थिंग द वे दैट शेफ इज मेकिंग,
true
राइट? है
true
ना? सो वो डर तो होना ही नहीं चाहिए
हम्म
कि मेरी चीज पता चल जाएगी तो क्या होगा, वो उसकी किस्मत है,
हम्म
ऑनेस्टली, है ना?
हम्म हम्म
एंड 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 अगर मेरे को आगे बढ़ना है तो आई नीड टू कैरी पीपल अलोंग,
absolutely
क्लियर है?
हम्म true
उस प्रोसेस में आगे पीछे होगा, बट मैं अकेला तो नहीं जीत सकता।
possible
आई
ही
कैन
नहीं
लीड,
हम्म
आई कैन लीड, आई कैन सपोर्ट, आई कैन गाइड, बट मैं अकेला नहीं जीत सकता।
that's very true that's
सो वो
absolutely
सो वो फियर तो आप अकेले चल रहे हो तो भी है ना।
हम्म
आप किसी ना किसी से कुछ ना कुछ काम तो करा ही रहे हो, कुछ तो डिपेंडेंसी है ही नहीं हारिका। सो
absolutely बिल्कुल
डिपेंडेंसी
सही
है तो नेक्स्ट लेवल पे लाएं उस डिपेंडेंसी को।
दैट्स ट्रू दैट्स ट्रू अच्छा विजय मुझे बताइए कि मेंटर कैसे सो फॉर एग्जांपल इफ somebody would want to reach out to you and say that sir would you mentor me for my project how should somebody reach out to you because you're available but you're very selectively available to people ये एक बहुत बड़ा फैक्ट है so how should people reach out to you for being a mentor and उससे एक क्वेश्चन पहले मैं ये पूछना चाहूंगी कि किसी को कैसे पता चलता है कि ये मुझे अच्छे से मेंटोर कर पाएगा मेंटर तो बहुत घूम रहे हैं मार्केट में बट मुझे कैसे पता चलेगा कि इनसे बात करके ना मुझे सोल्यूशन मिलेंगे और मुझे स्ट्रक्चर देंगे हाउ शुड वन आइडेंटिफाई दैट
मेंटोर के लिए सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट ये होता है कि उसे जिसके साथ या जिसके लिए काम करना है उसको ये कंफर्ट आना चाहिए कि यार दिस पर्सन इज एबल टू रिलेट टू माई काइंड ऑफ स्टाइल, माई काइंड ऑफ थॉट।
हम्म
आई मीन कंसल्टेंट और मेंटर शुड नॉट बी समवन की आए सूट बूट में बैठ गए कि यार मेरे को तुमसे ज्यादा ज्ञान है ऐसा करो, नो।
हम्म
he or she should be a part of that environment,
हम्म
you know or in a way that person should become the startup owner to help.
अंडरस्टूड
अगर मुझे अपनी कॉलर ऊंची करनी है then
हम्म
I'm not the right mentor for
ट्रू
you.
दैट्स वेरी
मेरे को
ट्रू
मेरा नाम नहीं बढ़ाना है, आपका काम बढ़ाना है, मेरा नाम अपने आप बढ़ जाएगा,
हम्म
वैसी फील आती है, then you are on.
हम्म ग्रेट so Vijay what is the biggest difference between a coach and a mentor
I think I have a coach also here listening to me, listening to us right now. You know, coach and mentor, to me, not much of a difference. मेरे लिए दोनों ही गुरु हैं,
हम्म
राइट? फर्क ये है कि जो कोच होगा वो एक सिंगल पर्पस पे कई बार काम करता है, कई बार उसका
हम्म
रोल ओवरऑल नहीं होता। मेंटोर का रोल ओवरऑल पर्सनालिटी या ओवरऑल एनवायरनमेंट को मेंटोर करना भी होता है।
हम्म
आई कुड बी अ स्विमिंग कोच, बट द मोमेंट यू आर आउट ऑफ माई क्लास, यू आर आउट ऑफ माई माइंड
हम्म
जनरली,
हम्म
but a mentor is 24/7 thinking about you.
That's true. That's true because the responsibility is very, very high.
Yeah, it's about the personality, environment, legacy, so many things.
That's true. That's true. Great. So, Vijay, before we kind of start settling the dust, I will also invite people from our chat space to ask questions to Vijay. And मेरे पास भी तीन चार questions जो है ready हैं जो मुझे off record पूछे गए हैं because for some reasons they couldn't join at this time. So I have those questions ready. But let's take questions from the audience. If we have any questions from the live audience first. We can also take them all live if they want, or we can simply take their questions.
People are happy listening
Yeah,
to us.
they're very happy. I have a question, and I really value time a lot. So I'm actually going to ask you this question. Okay. This question is from Sushmita, and she is basically from Bihar. So her question is that, sir, I come from a very conservative family. How am I supposed to move the patterns and establish myself as an entrepreneur? She wants to open her litti choke ki dukan.
That is going to be one of the, biggest success stories if one can start.
Yeah, but how should she manage her internal stakeholders or family?
अब घर से शुरू करो. You start doing it from home,
Hmm.
धीरे धीरे.
Mm-hmm.
And fortunately, someone who knows how to cook, आपको बहुत ज्यादा सपोर्ट की इनिशियली जरूरत नहीं होती है.
Hmm.
आप अपनी सोसाइटी में, बिहार तो एक ऐसी जगह है जहाँ पे सोसाइटीज या बिल्डिंग्स नहीं होती हैं, घर होते हैं, और बिहार के हर घर में सबको लिट्टी चोखा बनाना आता है. बट इफ यू आर मूविंग आउट टू प्लेस लाइक बॉम्बे, आप अपनी सोसाइटी से शुरू करो. एंड हैव पेशेंस. कोई भी चीज करेंगे आपको 6 महीना, 1 साल, 1.5 साल लगेगा ये लोगों को कन्विंस होने में कि कंसिस्टेंट है, और लोगों तक आपकी बात पहुंचने में. या तो आपके पास ऐसा बजट हो कि एक दिन में सबको पता चल जाए, विच डजंट हैपन. Yeah, so start doing sampling, start fixing a day कि मैं once a week इस चीज को करती हूँ अपने
Hmm.
आसपास के एरिया
Hmm.
में, फ्रेंड्स में,
Hmm.
इंस्टा पे.
Hmm.
मोर देन इंस्टा, इट इज इम्पोर्टेंट कि स्विगी से कनेक्ट करें, अपनी सोसाइटी से कनेक्ट करें,
Hmm.
एंड ट्राई
Very
एंड डू
good.
दिस. या
Hmm.
or
So I'll
maybe
just branching out.
a small restaurant which is not an expert, tell them that you please add on this in your menu. I will give it to you.
Okay, understood. We have another question from Avinash, and he's put up a question saying, is leadership same for an entrepreneur or sports or any field?
Sorry, I was reading someone else's question. Please, you will have to read it again to me.
Yeah, sure, I'll read it for you. Is leadership same for an entrepreneur or sports or any field? So in across fields, is leadership the same for an entrepreneur?
Yes.
Okay.
The
And
purpose of any entrepreneur is that whatever his vision is should not fail. Should be
okay.
able to build, you
Mhm,
know, and create a name, and
okay.
create a legacy.
Mhm,
Whether in sports, a lot of physical related, mental related, behavior related issues are happening. Same is happening with any other business or
mm,
any other work.
mm,
So I would rate both at par. I don't
mhm,
see any difference. You need to have specialization also when you
mm,
are into a sports mentor
mm,
or a coach,
mm,
or you are
mm,
an entrepreneur.
mm.
To me, it's not a difference. It's just that I like doing this, so I am into this. I like doing that, so I am into
So
X,
along with vision, your passion cannot be understated. You have to be passionate of what you're getting into.
Absolutely. That
Mm.
goes without saying. And excitement, I used this word a day before, that
Yes.
whatever you do, you should have energy and excitement about it.
Absolutely. And I haven't come across somebody with so much experience and so excited with this young energy. And I was like, wow, मैं थक गई हूँ. But Vijay is like, do this, do that, ये करते हैं, वो करते हैं, which actually got us a very good result.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
The next question is by NP197472, which is a very interesting user ID. So she is asking, I believe it's she, what is the basic difference between a leader and a manager? Question from Pankaj.
Leader and a manager.
Yeah, what's the basic difference?
Before you become a manager, you also need to become a leader. You know,
Fantastic.
leader actually does not need any designation,
True.
right? Leadership is about your skill sets, your abilities. It's not about a job.
Hmm.
It's
Hmm.
about looking around, thinking more than the job requires,
True.
right? And if so, but the basic difference is the leader decides what is the vision, and manager ensures that it is executed. Simply,
Fantastic. Very true. Very true. Very true. It's more on decision making and execution. Okay.
yes.
Now we have another question, which is from Avinash again. He's saying main qualities that person need to work to be a good leader. Shoot down top three qualities, Vijayji, from your point of view.
Three qualities.
Yes, for a good leader that a person needs to have for a good leader. So, like, whom would
Good
you say
leaders,
that's a good leader?
yeah, good leaders should not have any ego. Good leader, so the good leader should still be open to learn and reach out to understand and help. right?
Okay.
Second is the ability to visualize.
Hmm.
Once the something is done as a leader, what is the impact it is going to create?
Hmm.
And third, ability to manage one's emotions
Very
in good and bad
correct.
both situations so that it doesn't impact the environment and the team or any stakeholder.
That is a killer because managing emotions at workplace, it takes a lot of years to master it. Okay, we have another question which is from NP19. I think so it's Pankaj, if I'm not wrong. So the second
Okay.
question by Pankaj is, लोग डरते क्यों हैं अपना खुद का बिजनेस करने या entrepreneur बनने में? Very good questions. Pankaj, I guess you asked one more question.
Uh, हाँ डर इस बात का ओके वन शुड अंडरस्टैंड वंस एबिलिटी मेरी एबिलिटी लोगों से काम मैनेज करवाना है रोड मैप बनाना है और स्ट्रेटेजिकली मैनेज करना है तो मैं वही अच्छे से कर सकता हूँ मेरी ये जितनी होनी चाहिए कि नहीं मैं बिजनेस चला सकता हूँ आई विल नीड समवन टू रन अ बिजनेस आई
Okay.
कैन प्लान आई कैन क्रिएट रिसोर्सेस बट आई मे नॉट बी द राइट मैनेजर टू रन इट
Hmm. Very true.
यू नो
Hmm.
सो एट टाइम्स इट फील्स कि लोग डर रहे हैं बट टू मी एट टाइम्स इट इज ऑल्सो वंस realization towards oneself that boss this is not my zone
Hmm. Very
है
true.
ना I will
In
carry no ego
hmm.
if I can't do this
Hmm.
no problem
I guess, Vijay, in my view, the only point I would like to add, because I've been in this journey now for maybe years, but I guess most of the entrepreneurs are there to take validation from their family and friends. अरे क्या business किया है? अरे क्या turnover reach किया है? But it's
exactly
okay if you're slow, and people don't accept people who are slow. They look at you as बेचारा अभी बिजनेस स्टार्ट किया है ना कोई बात नहीं हाँ, हो जाएगा वी आर देयर टू सपोर्ट यू सो
there is a movie तुमसे ना हो पाएगा
ओके
right अभी नहीं आई है last week Ishwak is the actor
ओके
and it's on a startup if you have not seen you should see it
I
okay
will. The first thing I'm doing is I'm seeing this movie.
okay great and there is a dialogue ये मैं इसलिए बोल रहा हूँ कि please don't be अनु आंटी So Anu auntie is the one who says कि दूसरों ने क्या कर लिया तुमने क्या नहीं कुछ नहीं किया
Correct.
you know
Hmm.
so वो एक बहुत फेमस डायलॉग हो रहा है उसका धीरे धीरे कि यार आप अनु आंटी मत बनो
Hmm.
so don't get influenced by Anu aunties
Hmm.
do what you feel you can do
Fantastic. Very, very important. So all Anu aunties out there, we are now going to be scared of you now. Okay. We have one more question from Pankaj. Pankaj has taken it very seriously,
wow
okay? So his
great
question is, thank you for the answers. Leaders shouldn't be judgmental, but we are all humans. How to avoid being judgmental? Fantastic.
this guy must be knowing me it seems
100% with the way it's going, 100%.
uh, you need to be judgmental you cannot have patience and delay a decision if it is not helping the organization in the right manner. And the bigger difference between a manager and leader is leader should be able to take the blame. He is the one who takes all the bad calls
I agree.
in the larger interest. So yes,
Yes.
at times you need to be judgmental. Don't be judgmental in a hurry. But अगर
Hmm.
आप उस चीज को रहने दोगे ना तो पॉसिबली वो एक मछली पूरे तालाब को गंदा करने वाला सिनेरियो कई बार हो जाता है
Correct.
सो इट्स अ कॉल which can go either way
Hmm. So it's
and
like
it is
have
not
tough
about
call.
ego
Okay.
if it's coupled with ego then it's wrong
Okay. So you
but
mean
the
to say
problem is that the leaders cannot explain the reasoning to everyone
that's where we step in? That's true. Okay, so Pankaj ji is saying that very good movie, Vijay ji. Watched it and it's mass magic. No, I'm really sorry. I don't know what's mass magic, but yeah, it definitely has a context to the conversation. So that's great, Vijay. I guess, I just have one more question, which is off record, which is from the community that we run, which is by Learnathon 24 by 7.
Okay.
The question is asked by a guy who is in school right now. Okay, he's probably 16,
Yeah,
is what I would say is the age.
yeah, that's by Avinash, not by Pankaj, the mass magic line. Yes.
Oh, sorry, that's by Avinash. I'm so sorry, Avinash. I guess I got carried away by Pankaj and his questions. All right. So this is by this guy who is 16-year-old and is currently doing side hustle and is saying that we feel immense stress and pressure at this age. How do we handle stress much better? Very good question.
What's the stress
The
about?
stress about is that they are into side hustle, they are studying, they have aspirations, and they feel that they are too late in life.
My trainer, my personal trainer, is a 26-year-old guy. He starts his personal training from 6 in the morning. He closes at 1, again from 4 in the evening till 9:30 in the night. And he is staying away from his home. And whether it is -2 degree, raining, he's available. And personal trainers train themselves to talk to you, you know, in
Hmm.
a very different way so that you get comfortable. I have never seen that person, and I'm giving an example. I have never seen that person saying that I have stress. मैं बोलता हूँ यार आप सुबह 6 बजे से खड़े हुए हो. अरे बोले सर क्या करना है? लाइफ बनानी है, पर्पस है. 26 साल का ही तो हूं मैं.
Hmm.
You know, so to me, stress is मेरे को करना अगेन इट इज अबाउट पर्पस. मेरा पर्पस हल्ला करना है तो मैं हल्ला कर सकता हूँ.
Hmm.
Get the very easy
Hmm.
to से कि मैं थक गया या थक गई. कैसे हो सकता है? या तो डिसाइड कर लो कि मेरे को साइड हसल नहीं करना है. आप दो नाव में नहीं बैठ सकते.
Hmm. True.
डिसाइड एब्सोल्युटली डिसाइड योर पॉइजन. सॉरी.
Yeah, that's good. Decide your poison. Oh, and if you just elaborate, what is decide your poison? What would that mean?
Which poison is going to give me kick? Okay.
Oh.
My poison is my kick, not I'm going to die for. If my
Hmm.
kick is that I want to do two things and after 3 years I want to be someone who's at a different level,
Hmm.
then that's my kick. So I will have to work towards it, forget all stress. Stress होगा ही नहीं.
Okay.
There is a saying निहारिका कि जैसा मैंने आपको बोला था ना अभी कि आप ऊपर वाले से मांगते रहो, कोई ना कोई इच्छा तो वो सुन लेगा और तथास्तु बोल देगा.
Correct.
Right? Similarly, if you keep on talking about problems and stress, वही तो आएंगे फिर आएगा वही जो मैं सोच रहा हूँ.
True.
And it actually
That's
happens.
true. I guess what you send out to the universe also comes back to you in that form.
Think good will happen. It takes time. It doesn't happen overnight.
Hmm.
उसेन बोल्ट के 9 सेकंड उसे 2 साल लग गए जो किसी ने नहीं देखे. उन 2 साल का पेन उसने कैसे किया.
Hmm.
और हम
That's
दो
true.
दिन में बोलते हैं हमारे को स्ट्रेस हो गया.
Yeah, I
I am being
agree.
very candid. My apologies.
No, no, no. I guess this is what we want to hear because that's what's happening, right? After a week, they're like, I'm too stressed out. I don't know how to handle. And I keep on looking at my team saying that stress. Oh my God. We got to do something. Last question, but not the least, before we wrap up, Vijay. Uh, how much patience should one person have in order to evolve and grow? How should they manage their years? So, for example, 2 years to 5 years, this is the level of patience they should have, and top two things they should do at the start of their career. After the fifth year, these are the top two things they should do, and after 8 year plus onwards, it's a different ball game.
First 2 3 years, don't look at the money.
Okay.
Look at the learning.
Hmm.
Learn
Correct.
as much as possible.
Hmm.
Grasp as much as possible from environment.
Hmm.
After that, start looking at yourself that where after first 2 3 years, start looking at कि अब मैं किसको फॉलो कर रहा हूँ प्रोफेशनली. अगर मुझे उस लेवल पे पहुंचना है या उसके जैसा बनना है या बनना है ना, तो क्या क्वालिटीज हैं जो वहां है यहाँ नहीं है.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. So that includes your behavioral qualities also, or
Everything.
only technical?
No,
Okay.
it is more on behavior as a person.
Hmm.
टेक्निकली एक
As a person.
लिमिटेशन हो सकती है. एज अ पर्सन देयर आर नो लिमिट्स. आई मीन बिकॉज इट इज इन माय कंट्रोल.
True.
राइट.
That's true. That's
So
true.
if I want to go big, I need to start working towards that big.
Hmm.
थर्ड इज फिर तो आप रुतबे की तरफ चले जाते हो.
Hmm. That, that's right.
So third stage is when you are really wanting to fly high,
Hmm.
and by that time you should be able to understand कि मेरा आगे का रास्ता क्या है, मैं कैसे जा सकता हूँ या जा सकती हूँ.
Hmm. Very,
But
very true.
first is for a professional, learn as much as possible. For a
Hmm.
startup, burn as less as possible. Do
Hmm.
not do any show off. Just
Hmm.
focus on your basics.
Hmm. That's very important. Focusing on basics. People don't put their basics strong, and then there is a hue and cry later. That's great. So, Vijay, if the audience has to reach out to you, take your consultation, understand how they can take your services, which is the best way that they can reach you?
They can connect, they can come to me through LinkedIn, Vijay
Okay.
Manoth, or they can send me a mail at vijaymanot at gmail.com, VIJAYMAHNOT at gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
And then it can be, I mean, I would be happy to contribute whichever way I can.
Fantastic. So before we sum it up, I'll do a quick revision what I have understood about the entire session, and Vijay, please feel free to add in. It's more important to keep your ego down and your integrity high when you're starting business or when you're starting a new journey towards your career. It's important to be mindful and empathetic towards people, aggressive towards task. And above everything, the ability to reach out. It's not only about creating a difference, it is about motivating your people who will go ahead and create that difference that you're looking out for. And everyone, please watch the movie Tumse Na Ho Paega and no aunties anymore. Let me know
Very
if I
well summed
missed
up.
out anything, so that the audience doesn't miss on the key point. I will be mentioning your Gmail ID when we put this on the Instagram page, so that anyone who's looking for guidance can definitely reach out to you.
Yes, and Avinash ji is saying drop in Indore. Yeah, most welcome. We will have tea together.
Yes, adrak wali chai.
Done.
Great.
Thank you so much for
Thank
having
you.
me, Niharika. It
Thank
was
you
a
so
pleasure.
much.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much, Vijay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.